Well, welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this game. In this game, we're going to continue our three-game set with the 2023 Cardinals at the Cubs. So, played from the friendly confines of Wrigley Field at Clark and Addison on the north side of Chicago. The first game went to the Cardinals 11-6 as they scored 6 runs in the top of the ninth inning and took that one from the Cubs. Stole it, really, as Yan Gomes for the Cubs, backup catcher, came in off the bench, hit a RBI double to put the Cubs up in the bottom of the eighth, but Alzolay couldn't hold the lead and give up 4 runs. They wound up giving up 6 in the ninth. So let's see how things go for the Cubs. Quite a bit of difference with the lineup for Chicago in this one, but not so much difference with St. Louis. Leading off for St. Louis will be Lars Nootbaar. Goldschmidt will be hitting second. Gorman is playing second base and hitting third. Into the lineup, hitting in the 4 spot, is Nolan Arenado. Wilson Contreras is the DH. Brendan Donovan is in left. Paul DeJong is the shortstop. Dylan Carlson hitting 8th and playing center. And Andrew Kisner is the catcher. He's in the 9-hole. Jack Flaherty gets the start for the Cardinals. For the Cubs, it's going to be Madrigal this time, leading off, playing third base. Dansby Swanson in the 2-hole. Happ in left. Bellinger is the cleanup man in center field. Seiya Suzuki in right, so similar lineup through here, but everything here, is going to be very different. So Hosmer is going to be the DH. Matt Mervis playing first base and hitting 7th. Christopher Morel gets a start at second base, and Miguel Amaya gets the start at the catcher position. He'll hit 9th. All right, we got all of our charts laid out, and everything is ready to go. Let's get this one started between the Cubs and the Cardinals. On the hill for Chicago is Jameson Taillon. Taillon came over from New York a couple years ago. He's got a 22 stamina, excellent against right-handed batters, and average against lefties. He'll be facing off against a lefty. That's Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar in right field in this game. Listed as a center fielder, but we have him playing in right field. And he will take the first pitch against a righty. He's a +3. So he does have control of the at-bat. A 661 against a right-hander is going to be a walk. So right off the bat, Nootbaar winds up at first base. Nootbaar, actually, let me write in all of our, I forgot to write in all of our values. All right, and we're back. I like to write those in. It takes about 5 minutes to do that off the cards, maybe less. And it saves you much more than 5 minutes having to go back and look at everybody in their cards during the game. So, and I get my score sheets off of DigiDugout. So it's got space here for the different types of ratings that we have. So Lars Nootbaar is at first. He runs at a +1. Amaya throws at a -2. Taillon is a 0. So that means that Nootbaar is a 3. So let's go ahead and try to steal second. We'll be a little bit aggressive here. He's in the 1 to 3 column. It's a 667. That's the meaty middle there. That's going to be safe. So Nootbaar into second base with the stolen base. On the cards, you can see with Nootbaar here, against right-handers, that's the red one. I show stolen base attempts. Hopefully you can see that there down at the bottom. So you can see how many stolen base attempts they've had against each right-hander and left-hander. That gives you a little bit of an idea about how much they should be running. You know, your typical good base stealer is probably going to be 25 plus attempts. And so, you know, if they have 15, 20 attempts against righties or lefties, they're probably, you know, running at a decent enough clip if they're getting on base. So, like, you might be surprised. This is Goldschmidt's card. He's also got 11 stolen base attempts, all against right-handers, basically. So it doesn't run as much against righties as lefties. So I got a runner at second base now. Paul Goldschmidt to the plate. This will come off his card. It's a 20. A 20 against a right-hander is going to be a grounder. That goes to first base. A 956 would be a good play by the first baseman. And we have our first base here. A 274 with a runner on second base is here. So that's a 3-1 put out with a runner advancement. So Goldschmidt does the job and advances the runner to third base. He gets high fives as he comes back. So that's going to be 3-1 on the put out. The Cardinals are in business. They have Nolan Gorman coming to the plate. He homered in his last game. Jameson Taillon. Defense playing back. They'll concede the run. This is a 249. A 249 against a righty, though, is going to be a fly ball. And that will be popped up to first base. Disappointing at bat here for Gorman. As he pops it up to first base, the first baseman is Mervis. He'll squeeze it for out number 2. And that is a disappointing at bat as he is frustrated with himself. Can't get that run home, and that's going to be, he's going to leave it to Nolan Arenado. Arenado getting the start in this game. He is a 1-7 to have control. So this is off of Taillon's card. 887 will be a base hit. That is a single. So Nolan Arenado comes through with the RBI single. It doesn't really matter where it goes. That's going to drive in the run. But let's see. That will be a ground ball through the right side. And the right fielder is able to pick it up with no problem. Get it back in. That's Suzuki. So the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead, just like game 1. They jump out early, and that will bring up Wilson Contreras. Contreras is not catching in this game. He's DHing. He is a 1-5 for control. So this is a 656 against a righty is a strikeout as Taillon ends the inning with a K. But the Cardinals get an RBI single from Nolan Arenado, and actually we'll leave him there. RBI single from Nolan Arenado, and that is going to be the end of the first. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then stop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then stop. Okay. Just making sure that I move along his stamina in a good way. Okay, we head to the bottom of the first. Jack Flaherty walks out to the mound before he throws a pitch. He has a 1-0 lead, and he'll face off against Madrigal, Swanson, and Happ. Let's see if the Cubs can put together some runs in this one. Flaherty, a right-handed pitcher. Madrigal, a right-handed batter. The Cubs in their dark blues for this game. So it's a 1-8 control for the batter. So this will be off the batter card. 978 against a righty is going to be a 2-bagger. So Nick Madrigal, a line drive into left center field. That's going to be picked up by the left fielder. No error on the play. The left fielder is Donovan. He's a -4. Madrigal runs at a -3. So that's not a great matchup to try to take it over to third base. And that's going to be Dansby Swanson to the plate with a runner in scoring position. It's a 634. 634 against a righty is going to be a strikeout, as Jack Flaherty with the K. Leave that there. Flaherty against right-handers, 27% K percentage. Only 18 against lefties, so. 1 out now, runner at second base, and Ian Happ to the plate. He's batting left-handed. He'll be a 1-13 for control. This is going to be off Happ's card. 980 against a righty is going to be a deep drive, and Happ gets a hold of one here in the first inning as the Cubs try to answer back. And that's going to be down the right field line, and it is fair and gone. 2-run shot for Ian Happ, and the Cubs take a 2-1 lead over the Cardinals as they answer back here in the bottom of the first. Happ driving the ball. 693 OPS. He's slugging at a 370 clip against right-handers. Brings up Cody Bellinger. Bellinger's significantly better than that. 437 slugging against right-handers. He is a +2, and that makes him a 1-12 for control. 464 against a righty will be a line drive. It's a liner to left, and the left fielder has it for the out. That's going to be out number 2, as the left fielder Donovan makes the catch. Seiya Suzuki to the plate. Cubs up 2-1 on the Ian Happ 2-run homer to right. And Seiya Suzuki, this is off his card. 767 is going to be a single. So base hit for Seiya. Seiya, he remains hot. That's actually going to be an infield single. Little tapper that no one can make a play on. And so Seiya Suzuki to first. Eric Hosmer to the plate. This will come off of Hosmer's card. 840 is going to be another base hit. So the Cubs putting it together here in the first. That's a ground ball up the middle. Is there an error on the play? No error. So Seiya Suzuki, he is a -2. First to third. It's player's choice to send him to third. I'm not going to do that. The center fielder is pretty decent, Carlson. So the Cubs send up the 7th man in the order, Matt Mervis, up to the plate. Mervis, left-handed batter, young left-handed player. He is a 1-6 for control, so this comes off of Flaherty's card. 601 against a lefty is going to be a strikeout. So Flaherty gets the K, and that will end the inning. But not before the Cubs drop 2 on the Cardinals, and we head to the top of the second inning. It is 2-1 Chicago over St. Louis. Brendan Donovan to the plate. He's a lefty. This will come off his card. 393 against a right-hander is going to be a line drive. That's a liner to right field, and the right fielder is Seiya Suzuki. No problem in right field for him to make the play, and that is out number 1 in the second inning. Paul DeYoung to the plate, right-handed batting shortstop for who's this? The Cardinals. A 751 to a right-hander is a hit by pitch. So Taillon comes in hard with the fastball, and he clips him. And going down to first base is going to be Paul DeYoung. DeYoung, not much of a stealer of bases. He does become a +2 though because of the catcher. Let's go ahead and try to steal with him. He actually had no stolen base attempts, so let's not do that. Try to stay fairly close to what happened in their seasons. So Dylan Carlson to the plate. Carlson, a left-handed batter. He's actually a switch hitter. He's going to be a 1-9 for control. So this comes off of the pitcher card. 945 against a lefty is going to be a hit. That's a 193. 193 will be a base hit. That base hit goes to up the middle and into center field. No error on the play. So we got this guy going to second base. He's a 0. And first to third for a 0 and a hit to center field is my choice. Again, I'm going to leave that there. Carlson, not great speed. And Cody Bellinger has a +1 arm. So not really keen to do that. So Andrew Knizner to the plate. 1 out, 2 on. And Jameson Taillon looking to get out of this one. It's an 803. He keeps rolling high, and that's not going to be a good way to get out of it. This is going to come off of Knizner's card. 732 is a double for Andrew Knizner. And that will be a line drive to right center field. And that goes all the way to the wall. That's going to be picked up by the center fielder. Let's see if there's an error on the play. No error. So that double is going to score this guy from second. It's going to push this guy to third. And he'll be at second base. Carlson is a 0. The center fielder is Bellinger. He's a -4. So that's going to be on Bellinger to try to throw him out. We're going to try to score that runner from first base. So they're sending Carlson. Bellinger has a +1, so it has to be a 211 to 360, and he'll be out at the plate. It's a 326, 329. 329 is here. Oh, you know, they got him. They got him at the plate as they gun down the player trying to score from first base. They send Carlson being aggressive. And let's call it 8-4-2 on the relay. All right, going to get 1 RBI here. That's out number 2. And we got a runner at second base now with 2 down. 1 already in for the Cardinals as they tie the ball game at 2. Great play out there in center field. Getting to the ball was Cody Bellinger, and making the relay was the second baseman, Christopher Morel. Good throw to the plate. Good catch, good tag, and they get the runner trying to score from first. It's going to bring up Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar 1 for 1. He singled and scored in his first at-bat. In this one, he's a 1-7, so this comes off his card. 548 against a righty is a strikeout. So Taillon gets a strikeout to end the inning, and he does give up 1, but that's all the damage done from all of those Cardinal plays. And we go to the bottom of the second inning. Scores tied at 2. For the Cubs, it'll be Christopher Morel, Miguel Amaya, and back to the top with Nick Madrigal. Facing off against Jack Flaherty, Morel is a 1-7 for control, so this comes off his card. It'll be a ground ball. Ground ball goes to first base. The first baseman, no problem there. And he'll flip to the pitcher covering. That's out number 1. Nice play from the first baseman, Goldschmidt. Standing in is Miguel Amaya. This comes off the pitcher card. 8-16 against a righty is going to be a walk. So Amaya draws the walk. And he'll be at first base with 1 out. Nate Madrigal to the plate. He doubled and scored in his first at-bat here. This goes off of Flaherty's card. 677 against a righty is a strikeout. So that's a big one for Flaherty as he gets the second out of the inning via the strikeout. Third strikeout of the game for Flaherty. Overall K percentage of about 22 or 23. Dansby Swanson to the plate. Swanson in his first at bat struck out, and here he is going to 8-13. That's going to be a walk. So he draws the walk. That's going to put runners at first and second for the Cubbies. We're in the bottom of the second inning, tied at 2. Ian Happ with a 2-run homer in his first at-bat. Let's see what he's got in this at-bat. This comes off Flaherty's card. So 233 will be a fly ball against a lefty. Fly ball goes out to center field. Bellinger is there, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. No need to check runner advancement on the third out. So the Cubs go down in the second. They get 2 on, but they can't get them in. And we head to the top of the third, still tied at 2 in this one. Got Paul Goldschmidt to the plate. Goldie with a ground out to first base in his first at bat. This will come off of Taillon's card. 481 is going to be a line drive. And that goes to center field. No problem in center field for Belly. So Bellinger makes the play for the first out of the inning. Brings up Nolan Gorman, big left-handed stick. He popped out to first in his first at-bat. And this will be 8-19 against the lefty. It is a hit off of Taillon's card. The hit is going to be a single. And Nolan Gorman with a 1-out knock. As that is a line drive into center field, picked up by the left fielder. The left fielder is Happ, and he'll make the catch and the play. So no problem out there. Happ is he's a 0. Gorman runs at a +1. You know what? He's going to stretch that. He's going to try to stretch it because it means that the onus is on the outfielder. So let's see. Pretty good arm out there with Happ, but Gorman is a young guy feeling his oats. 9-19, and he will be safe. So he's in with a hustle double into left center field. So maybe Happ's his lack of range caused him to get there a little bit late, even though he's got a good arm. He had to range quite a bit to get to left center field, and that allowed Gorman to stretch it into a double. Brings up Nolan Arenado. He is 1 for 1 with an RBI single back in the first inning. This comes off Taillon's card. A 9-1-0 is going to be a hit. This is another single. That base hit goes, it's a blooper to left center field, picked up by the center fielder, Bellinger. So he's going to go to third at least. He's a +1. Left center field, he will score on the play. So the Cardinals take a 3-2 lead on that RBI. Center fielder is Bellinger. He's a -4. Arenado runs at a 0. He throws at a +1, but he's going to challenge them as the Cardinals aggressive in this one. Bellinger has a +1 arm. And a 630 is going to mean that he gets in. So he also, on that deep blooper, is going to wind up with a double. So an RBI double from Nolan Arenado. He's got a single and double. 2 of the 3 RBIs come off his bat. And it's going to be a 3-2 lead for the Cardinals. Brings up Wilson Contreras. Contreras, a right-handed batter. He's a 1-5 for control, so this is a off Taillon. That's going to be a strikeout. Second strikeout of the day for Wilson Contreras. And that's out number 2. That'll bring up Brendan Donovan. Donovan, a lefty bat. Lined out in his first at bat, but this time he is going to 963. He's got a home run chance here as he lifts one high and deep into straightaway center field, and they're not bringing that one back. That's a 2-run jack for Brendan Donovan as he goes straight away in Wrigley Field. Deepest part of the ballpark, and he brings home the run from second base. That's Nolan Arenado, and it's now 5-2 Cardinals as Taillon is getting banged around pretty good here in this one. This comes off of Taillon, another hit. Oh, that was $9.99. All right. All right, finally. Okay, so we got some kind of highlight play here. Oh, but it won't matter. I don't have any for hits. Okay, $9.99. Dadgummit. All right, so that's going to be some sort of hit. 755 off a right-hander will be another jack. Oh my gosh, back-to-back home runs as DeYoung goes yard. And that is, oh, I spoke too soon. So this is just over the right center field wall. It's the center field. Oh, actually, there's no robbing home runs here. So that's just into the basket in right center field. Got my hopes up with robbing a home run, but there's no robbing home runs at Wrigley Field. The wall's too high, and I got the basket there. So that's into the basket. Paul DeYoung now, 1 for 1 with a home run. Brings up Dylan Carlson. Carlson, a lefty bat. This will be a ground ball. And grounder goes to second base. No problem for the second baseman. Is that Horner? Who's that? Morel. He goes to first for the out. And a very difficult inning there for Taillon. He gives up 4 runs. And St. Louis now has a 6-2 lead over the Cubs. All right, Bellinger to the plate. It'll be Bellinger, Suzuki, and Hosmer. Bellinger, a left-handed batter. He's a 1-12 for control. So 197 is going to be a fly ball. That goes out to right field. And the play is made in right field by Lars Newbar. 1 down for the Cubs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 6-2 our score. Seiya Suzuki to the plate. Suzuki with control here, a 763 off his card, is going to be a walk. No. A base hit. So base hit for Seiya Suzuki. That's right up the middle. And 160 is coming in as the center fielder. He'll make the play. And that's going to be a 1-out single for Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki -3 stealing. So the +2 still makes him just a -1. So he's not going anywhere. Actually, was it -3 and a 0? So so that makes him a 0. Let's go ahead and try to surprise him. Unless Seiya doesn't have any steal attempts. How many does he get? He's got 8 stolen base attempts against right-handers, so we'll go ahead and try it. We'll try to surprise him with the old stolen base. He's in the 0 category. Don't need that, but 370 is here, and he slides in safely as Seiya Suzuki swipes second base. He catches him off guard, and he's going to be in scoring position now. So Eric Hosmer stands in. He's a left-handed batter. Played for Kansas City for many years. He's a 1-9 for control. So this comes off of the pitcher card. 939 is going to be a hit. A 542 will be a base hit. Hosmer now 2 for 2. That is a ground ball through to the left side. Let's see. Possible error on the play, 040. The left fielder is Brendan Donovan. He's a -2. And that will not be an error. So he picks it up. And a 040. Sorry. That's a base hit to left field. He goes to third. Let's see if he scores. A -2 going second to home to left field. That is a question mark. So that means it's our choice. It's a -4. Suzuki runs at a -2. So that's actually going to be on the left fielder, Donovan, who doesn't have much of an arm. He's got a -1 arm. So it's over here, 31 to 100. They're going to get Suzuki at the plate, otherwise he'll be safe. A 701 means he is sliding in there safely. And Seiya Suzuki, all by himself, creates a run. And that's going to be an RBI single for Eric Hosmer, who is 2 for 2 with an RBI. And the Cubs cut the lead to 6-3. Matt Mervis to the plate. Mervis struck out in his first at-bat. This time he is a 1-6. So 214 is a ground ball. And that goes to the shortstop. Shortstop makes the play. We do have a runner on base. First base. So let's see if there's a chance for 2 here. So hitting it to short with a runner at first, 693. And that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play straight up. So inning-ending double play gets the Cardinals out of the third. So that's out number 2, out number 3. But the Cubs do put 1 on the board. It's now 6-3. St. Louis over Chicago. Don't know how long we're going to go with Taillon. I think he lasted just 2 2/3 in the actual game. I think maybe we're seeing why. So he'll face the bottom of the order. It's Kisner, Nootbaar, and Goldschmidt. So Kisner and then back to the top. For Kisner against a righty, he's just a 1-4 for control, but he does get that control. 760 is going to be another base hit. So he had a double in his first at-bat. He's going to have a base hit here. That's a line drive to right center field, picked up by the center fielder, Bellinger. Bellinger is a -4, and everybody's just running crazy today. So we're going to go ahead and send Kisner. He's just a -1. So this is all on Bellinger to throw him out at second. 211 to 360, he'll be out. And he's going to be safe at second base. And he was thinking 2 out of the box. So he's got 2 doubles on the day. Not a ton of range out here in the outfield with the Cubs. They don't move real well to get to the ball. So that's going to hurt them on any of those balls hit to the gap. Runner at second base, nobody out. Lars Nootbaar to the plate. He struck out in his last at-bat. 643 will be another strikeout. So 2 Ks on the day for Nootbaar. That's out number 1. We'll leave his stamina there. And that brings up Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt 0 for 2. lined out to Bellinger at center in his last at bat. He is a 1-4, and so he's got control. 346 against a righty will be a line drive. Another liner as he hits it hard. This time he's going to hit it hard to right field. Right fielder's got it for the catch. So Suzuki grabs that one for the catch. And let's see if there's any runner advancement on the play. Got our liner to the outfield. It's a liner to right. A 116 is here. I believe there's a runner on second. So that's deep enough to try to move up if we want. Kisner doesn't run real well. Suzuki really doesn't throw well, so we're going to go ahead and run on him. That's deep enough to go ahead and take the extra base. You never know when you're going to get a wild pitch or something. So this is all on Suzuki. Suzuki, a 31 to 100, he'll be out at third base. It is a 183. He's going to be in there safely to third. And so the runner moves up on the F9. So runner at third base now. I think I already moved that. And 2 down in the inning. Nolan Gorman stands in. He is playing second base in this one. He doubled and scored in his last at bat. He is a 1-4 for control. This is off the pitcher. This is a 1000. So a 1000 is going to be a hit. Nolan Gorman with his second hit of the day. A 669 is going to be a double off of a right-hander. That's a blooper down the right field line. It's going to score this guy. And an RBI double, second double of the day for Nolan Gorman. We're really trying to just sort of get Jameson Taillon through this inning, but it's 7-3. St. Louis over Chicago. Nolan Arenado to the plate. A 755 to Arenado is going to be a hit by pitch. So second hit batsman. We're going to have a mound visit. Let's go talk about it for a second with Taillon, try to settle him down a little bit. So that keeps this stamina there for now. Brings up Wilson Contreras. Runners at first and second base with 2 down in the fourth. 1 already in for the St. Louis Cardinals. This comes off the batter. 686 against a righty is going to be a walk, and that's just got to be it. As Taillon loads the bases, trying to get him out of the fourth, but he was having nothing of it. So let's I think we'll have to bring in maybe Assad and see if he can help us out here. All right, new pitcher for the Cubs is Javier Assad. He's listed as a relief pitcher, but he's sort of a swingman, long relief slash occasional starter, spot starter. Right-handed pitcher. He can go 14 batters for his stamina. He's replacing Taillon. Taillon goes 3 2/3. He gave up 10 hits in just under 4 innings. He is responsible for 7 runs, but he's got 3 on the pond as Assad inherits a bases loaded 2-out situation. And he'll try to keep the Cubs in this baseball game. So he's facing off against Brendan Donovan. Donovan a home run his last at bat. Against righties, he is a +2. Against lefties, Assad is a -2, so they're like even Steven. 179 will be a ground ball. That goes to 441. That's a ground ball to second base. 259 will be a good play by the second baseman. So we got to find out what happens on the play. So he makes the catch. That's all we know at this point. So grounder to second base. Bases loaded. We're over here. And 837 is this one. And that is a 4-6 put out as they go the short way on that grounder toward the middle. And that's going to end the inning. So 4-6 on the put out is the third out of the inning. Assad with one pitch gets them out, but the Cardinals do put one more on the board. I'm going to give Assad, so you actually get a +1 if no runs scored when the bases are loaded. So I'm going to give him that. Obviously it doesn't go to Taillon. So he stays where he is with his stamina at 14, which should be a help to the Cubs. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 7-3, St. Louis over Chicago. Christopher Morel to the plate, and then Amaya, and then back to the top. So Morel is going to have control of this at bat. A 290 is going to be a fly ball. That goes to left field, and the left fielder is there to make the play. That's Donovan squeezing it for the out. That's out number 1. Flaherty pitching well so far. He's given up 3 runs, most of it on a home run, 2-run homer in the first inning, but he's settled in nicely. Miguel Amaya to the plate. Amaya with a walk in his last at bat. He will have a 406. 406 is a line drive. And that liner goes to short, and no problem at short for Paul DeYoung, who makes the catch on a sinking liner. 2 down in the fourth for the Cubs. Last chance in the fourth, Nick Madrigal. He's got a double and struck out in his last at bat. This comes off the pitcher card. 568 is going to be a strikeout. So second strikeout of the day for Madrigal. That's a 1-2-3 inning. So we get the strikeout to end the inning, and we get a +1 for the 1-2-3 inning. Nice job by Jack Flaherty, who is pitching well in this one so far. Go to the top of the 5th inning. Assad still in the game. He'll face off against DeYoung, Carlson, and Kisner, bottom 3 in the order. This is a 1-8 for control. So 637 against a righty is going to be a strikeout as Assad comes in and gets DeYoung. It's going to bring up Dylan Carlson. Carlson batting left-handed. Assad is a -2 against lefties. This comes off his card. 0-52 is a ground ball. That grounder goes to third. The third baseman has it. That is Nick Madrigal. Makes a good throw across the diamond. And that's out number 2. A couple of quick outs for the Cubs here in the top of the 5th. Andrew Kisner to the plate. Kisner 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles and an RBI in this one. He will have control. 149 is going to be another ground ball. So almost a range check there. 443, sorry. So grounder to second base. No problem at second for the out. And that is a 1-2-3 inning, as Christopher Morel makes a good throw over to Mervis at first. And so we'll keep him right where he is for the 1-2-3 inning. Javier Assad, maybe he should have got the start. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs, all earned. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. The Cubs are down 7-3, looking for some offense. Dansby Swanson, Ian Happ, and Cody Bellinger will be up this inning. So 987, this might be a really good start, as this is a home run from Dansby Swanson. That is hit just over the wall and left center field. There was a little bit of doubt there as he hit it high in the air, and that carries all the way into the basket for a home run for Dansby. He is able to put a charge in one every once in a while. And Ian Happ now to the plate. Cubs are down 7-4 now. Chipping back away at it. A 0.56 is going to be a ground ball against the lefty. That is a grounder to second base as Happ rolls over one. 208 is no problem. On the throw by the second baseman, Gorman. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Cody Bellinger stands in. Tall, slender left-hander. He is lined out and flied out. It's 0-2 in this one. He's going to get control as it's a 265. 265 against a righty is a fly ball. That fly ball is a pop-up to third base. No problem for the third baseman. It's Arenado. Just at the edge of the dirt is going to put it away for a P5. And 2 are down in the 5th inning. Say Suzuki comes to the plate. Suzuki 2 for 2. He had a stolen base and a run scored in his last at bat. He's not going to have that opportunity here. 138 is a ground ball. That grounder goes over to third base. The third baseman is Arenado. 770 is a good scoop, strong throw, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Jack Flaherty. That's 2 1-2-3 innings in a row for him. We're going to leave him there. And Flaherty is really pitching well in this one, as he's given up some runs, but his offense has scored more. It's 7-4. Sorry, there was 1 run in there, wasn't there? So 7-4 is our score. It will be Lars Nootbaar in the top of the order facing off against Javier Assad. Trying to squeeze out a 3rd inning here from Assad. This goes off his card. A ground ball. And that grounder is to third base. No problem there for the third baseman. Who's playing third? Madrigal. Madrigal makes a nice throw. And that will be out number 1. Paul Goldschmidt to the plate. Goldschmidt is 0 for 3. I think we all know Goldschmidt, every time he steps in, is always due. So this is a 5-11 against a righty. That's going to be a line drive. And 5-56. Oh, almost another range check. So that's a liner to center field. 690 or 669 is going to be an out as Cody Bellinger makes the catch. So Goldschmidt has hit the ball hard every time. Well, he's hit it hard the last 3 times and has nothing to show for it. So we head down to Nolan Gorman. He's hit the ball hard and has some things to show for it. 2 for 3 on the day with a couple of doubles. This will come off of Assad's card. 414 is a fly ball. That's a pop-up to the catcher, and no problem there for the catcher as he's got 1 foot on the infield, and he will make the catch. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Javier Assad, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning now. 7-4 is our score. The Cubs looking to climb into this one. It's the bottom of the order. Hosmer, Mervis, and Morel for the Cubbies. This is Flaherty's card. A 114 is going to be a ground ball. That's a little rollover to second base. No problem there for the second baseman as Gorman makes a good throw to first. That's out number 1. Matt Mervis to the plate. Mervis is 0 for 2. Grounded into a double play his last at bat. The good part is he won't have the opportunity to do that here. He's a 1-9 for control, so this comes off of the pitcher card. 600 is going to be a strikeout. So Jack Flaherty, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks on the day. And 1 out away from getting through 6 innings in this one. His team is up 7-4. He's looking to hold down the bottom of the order here. Christopher Morel, 0 for 2. He's got control here, but it's a 284. 284 is going to be a fly ball as he hits one out to center field. The center fielder is Carlson. Carlson's going to make the play for out number 3. That'll end the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jack Flaherty. He's got 3 of those back to back. Oh, not quite 3. So 2 out of the last 3. And we go to the top of the 7th. Still 7-4 our score. I think the actual score in the game was 6-4. So we'll see if there's more scoring to be had. Nolan Arenado comes to the plate. Assad is barely moved off of his stamina, so we're just going to stick with him. Might be a mistake. This comes off of Arenado's card, 858. Against a righty is going to be a base hit. And that will be a ground ball into left field. Happ is there in left field. Possible error on the play. A 0-15. Happ is a 0 error. And there is no error on the play. So Happ gets it back in. That's a single to left. And Arenado is on with nobody out. Contreras to the plate. It's got a couple strikeouts and a walk in his last at bat. This comes off of Assad. 319 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. And that is a fly ball pop up to the shortstop. Waiting for it is Dansby Swanson, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. No advancement from the runner on the play. Next to bat is Brendan Donovan, left-handed batter. He's 1 for 3. He had a 2-run home run back in the 4-run third. This comes off of Assad. 347 is another fly ball. And that fly ball goes out to left field. The left fielder is Happ. He is there to make the play. And let's see if there's any runner advancement there. We have a runner at first. Arenado with average speed, 186 on a runner or on a fly ball to left. 186. So that is the player's choice. So kind of a deep fly ball. And player's choice to get him into scoring position. Happ has a strong arm at a +3. So that's all going to be on Arenado. I think we'll just leave Nolan there. And they already have a lead, so we'll just leave him there. So that's going to bring up Paul DeYoung. DeYoung, 1 for 2. He had a home run, solo home run, back in the that 4-run third inning. This comes off of Assad's card. 792 against a righty is going to be a walk. We'll leave Assad in there. He is strong against left-handed batters. He's going to be facing Carlson, a switch hitter, who will be hitting left-handed. Against righties, Carlson is not as strong either, so that makes him a 1-7 for control. So let's see if Assad can get out of this. First and second with 2 down. In the top of the 7th inning, Cubs trying to hold on in this one. So this goes off of Assad. 655 against a lefty will be a strikeout, and that's a good fitting way for him to end this very good outing, as he gets the 3rd out on a strikeout. And the Cardinals do not score in the 7th, although they threaten with 2 runners on. They can't get them home. So we head to and he stays there. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Flaherty, we're going to keep an eye on here. He's facing off against the bottom of the order, and we'll just have to see how he does. He's pretty good against right-handed batters, so he's got 3 righties coming up. And we'll just see. We'll play this by ear and see how it goes. Could be a disaster. Let's see. So he is facing Miguel Amaya. Amaya 0 for 1. He lined out to shortstop in his last at bat. This will be a 230. 230 against a righty is going to be a ground ball. The grounder goes out to shortstop. Swanson has it. Up with the throw and over to first. And no problem. 1 down in the 7th. Nicky Madrigal. So we're back to the top of the order, 4th time through. And Madrigal is 1 for 3. He's got a double, a run scored, and has struck out in his last 2 at-bats. He's got control here, a 487 against a righty. Is a line drive, so he pokes this one into left field. And 126, let's see, the left fielder is Donovan. Donovan is a -2 on his error. And that is 84 to 129 is going to be an error. So that's going to be an error on the left fielder as the defense falters. On that line drive, he can't catch the ball in and out of his glove. And Madrigal is at first. He steals at a -3, but our catcher is also a -3, so that makes him a 0. This feels like the time, right? This feels like the time when you should swap out the pitcher. So that's why I'm following my managerial instincts, and we're going to get a new pitcher in. All right, the new pitcher for the Cardinals is going to be a Giovanni Gallegos. Gallegos, I was impressed by his outing in the last game. He comes in a tough spot, runner at first and 1 out. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. He's trying to hold on to a 7-4 lead, but he's facing Dansby Swanson. Swanson, a home run in his last at bat. This is a 705 against a right-hander. That's going to be a strikeout as Gallegos with a big K for the 2nd out of the inning. He's got a 29% K percentage against right-handed batters. Not quite as good against lefties, but he doesn't allow a lot of walks, so that's a good thing if he can get control. So against a righty, Hap is good. He's batting left-handed though. So this is a 1-12 advantage for Hap, or that he gets the advantage. So Hap has the advantage in the at-bat. It's a 120. It's going to be a grounder, and that will be a grounder to the shortstop. The shortstop is Paul DeYoung. He's got the catch, so let's see what happens on the play. The runner at first is Nick Madrigal, and we have a catch at shortstop. It is a 690. 690 is going to be rolled up, a 6-4-3 double play, and that will end our inning. Actually, it wasn't 6-4. Sorry, we'll just go 6-4 on the putout. There were 2 outs already. So, fielder's choice at second base as the shortstop DeYoung flips to Gorman, and that will be no runs scored by the Cubs. Excellent job by Giovanni Gallegos to come in and get a couple of outs there. Preserves the lead at 7-4, and we're going to get a new pitcher for the Cubbies. A new pitcher is going to be Mark Leiter Jr. I don't know why I put Al. So Mark Leiter Jr. He replaces Javier Assad, who was terrific, 3 1/3 innings, giving a spell to Jameson Taillon. Taillon had given up 7 earned runs, and in 3 2/3, Assad gives up 1 hit and no runs in 3 1/3. So, well-deserved pat on the back for him for keeping the Cubs in this one, as they actually have fought back a little bit. It's 7-4. Cubs trying to keep this one close and see if they can get in on the St. Louis bullpen. It'll be Andrew Kisner, and then back to the top of the order with Nootbaar and Goldschmidt in the top of the 8th. Mark Leiter, terrific against lefties, not so great against righties. And we got a couple of tough left-handers, so Nootbaar and possibly Gorman at this point. So we'll see how he does. It's a little bit of a mixed bag for who's going to come up to the plate. Kisner against right-handers is just average. He's a 1-12 for control. So this comes off the pitcher. Won't matter though. 857 is going to be a hit for the batter. 327 is a single. And it's a 3-for-4 day for the catcher Kisner. That is a little blooper down the left field line. And the left fielder is Happ. No problem getting to the ball. And so we're going to have a runner at first. Kisner doesn't run real well, and it would all be off of his card to try to extend that to second base. So Lars Nootbaar to the plate. Nootbaar 1-for-4. He's going to have the advantage here. It is a 0.28 though. That's going to be a ground ball. And a 0.79. That means it's a ground ball to first base. So Mervis at first makes the play. I don't think I moved him for that single. Mervis at first makes the play. And we got our first baseman down here. We got a runner at first base. And 802 is here. That's a 3-6 double play chance. We're looking at the DP rating for Mervis. And we can already go 3-6 here. So that's the fielder's choice. And that'll be out number 1. Let's see if they turn 2. Mervis is a 0 for his double play rating. And let's see if he puts his team in position to make the double play. 541 to 710. It'll be a double up. It's a 0.48, so beating it out at first base is Lars Nootbaar. And he's going to be on with a 3-6 fielder's choice. 1 out in the inning. And let's see if let's see how Leiter Jr. does against Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt is 0 for the day. Doesn't seem like you can stay that way. He's a 1-14 for control, so this goes off the pitcher card. 726. As he's going to plunk Goldschmidt. That's one way to deal with him. At least you can't hit the ball out of the ballpark with a hit by pitch. And that's going to bring up Nolan Gorman. Tough matchup for Gorman. He's going to be just a 1-4 for control, but he does get control. 179 won't make any difference. That's a fly ball. Actually, it does, I guess. It would have been a ground ball. But fly ball, that goes to 0.60. That will be a pop-up to first. And that is caught by Mervis. That'll be out number 2. P3 on the putout, that's out number 2. Neither runner scorer is going to... Neither runner is going to advance. We're going to get a pitcher change here because Nolan Arenado rakes against righties. So let's get somebody in here who is a little better against right-handed batters. All right, Julian Merriweather comes into the game. He's a right-handed pitcher. He can go 4 batters. For his stamina, equally well against right and lefties. And maybe he should have been the one coming out of the bullpen, but I thought Leiter had a good chance against the lefties. He got the ground ball he needed. He got a pop-up. So, to me, he did the work against the lefties, but didn't take care of either of the right-handers. So, we lean on Julian Merriweather to come in and get the final out of the 8th inning. He's facing off against Nolan Arenado. And bringing him in means that we have even strength here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. He's a 30%, 32% K percentage. Almost one run better on his FIP against righties than lefties. So hopefully he can come in and take care of his business against Nolan Arenado. Leiter goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up just one hit. He did plunk a batter. He's standing on first base. There's also a batter on second base. And so far has given up no runs, but he's on the hook for the 2 people on base. So this will come off of Merriweather's card. A 682 against a righty is going to be a strikeout. And that is exactly what Rossi hoped for whenever he brought him in out of the bullpen. So we got 0 runs here. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 7-4 Cardinals over the Cubs. Let's get a new Cardinal pitcher in. All right, the new pitcher is going to be Chris Stratton, right-handed pitcher. He can go 5 for his stamina, pretty good. Relief pitcher, excellent against lefties, sub-2 FIP against lefties, but about a 357 FIP against righties. So we'll see if he can come in and take care of the middle of the order. It's Bellinger, Suzuki, and Hosmer. That's a couple of lefties coming up. Makes a lot of sense here. And then Helsley will be the, he'll come in for the save if they have a save opportunity. Let's see if the Cubs can come back on the St. Louis bullpen. Bottom of the 8th inning, they're down by 3 at home. They've already lost game 1, and they are on the ropes in game 2. Cody Bellinger against a right-handed pitcher is a +2. Stratton is a -3. That makes him a 1-9 for control. This comes off Bellinger's card. A 9-13 could be excellent things. Off of a right-hander, that's going to be a double, as Cody Bellinger punches one down the left field line into the corner, and he's going to be standing up at second base. The left fielder is Brendan Donovan. He's a -4. Bellinger runs at a +1. I don't think we're going to chance it down the left field line. They need base runners, right? So they need base runners. It'll be Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki to the plate is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of singles, a stolen base, or run scored. And he will be a 1-9 for control. Sits off the pitcher card. 486 is a line drive. That's a liner to right field. 894 is going to be a good catch. And let's see. See about runner advancement. 936. Chance here. 936 to right field. Runner at second base is the player's prerogative. So kind of a deep line drive to right. And let's check it out here. Who is the right fielder? The right fielder is Lars Nootbaar. He's got a +1 arm. He is a -1 altogether, though. Should we do that? No, he just makes the catch, right? So this, we're just going to go off of his arm. It's a 1. Bellinger is a 1. And so when they are equal, it is going to be on the player running. Let's go for it. We've been aggressive the whole game with both teams. And so we got an above average arm with an above average runner. And this is going to be 211 to 840. He'll be safe at third, otherwise he's going to be out. This is a big play in the game. A 333. 333 is going to be safe. So he's in the green. My paper at 333. Okay, so it's a range check. Extra bases. Roll for a safe or out. If it's a 3 of a kind, roll for an error on the throw. So we need to check the error rating. So he's safe at third. Let's see if the ball got away. That could be a huge play. In the game, it's Nootbaar. He's a 0 error. So we got our error here. Pretty small chance here he's going to make an error, but you never know. It's an 888, and that will be no error on the play. So when it's a 3 of a kind and you're checking on a tag up or a base runner situation, then that's a possible overthrow or an error on the throw. So no error though. So we're going to go to third on the L9. That means there is a runner at third with 1 out. It brings up Eric Hosmer. Hosmer 2 for 3. This comes off his card. A 129 is going to be a grounder. That goes to 802. It's a grounder to third base. 148 is a good catch. And we have a grounder to third. There's one play on here where he goes straight to home. So let's see if that's what we want. Actually, there's a couple of them where he goes straight to home. So we'll see if that is what comes up. 790. Runner at third. That's a 5-3 put out. The runner's going to score. So the third baseman is Nolan Arenado. He has to range to his left. Run's going to score from third. That makes the score 7-5. But the Cardinals get the second out of the inning. So Matt Mervis to the plate. Mervis is 0 for 3, couple strikeouts. Against a right-hander, he's a -1. Stratton is a -3, so 1-6 for control. This comes off Stratton's card. 781 is going to be a walk, though, as he loses Mervis. Mervis on for the first time in this ball game. That takes Stratton down to a 0. We're going to do a mound visit, so that brings him back up to a +1. And trying to get him out of this inning, Christopher Morel up to the plate. He's 0 for 3. This comes off the pitcher, 123. Against a righty, that's a ground ball. Grounder to short, that's Dansby Swanson. And he will make the play. And let's see if they get the out or not. So where's the runner? Just one on at first base. 774. And that'll be a 6-4 put out for the third out of the inning. So nice play by Dansby Swanson as he gets the runner at second base. The Cubs do tack on 1, and they trail 7-5. So inching ever closer. We're going to try Alzolay again. Let's see how this goes. Okay, Adbert Alzolay will come in. He is the official closer. He replaces Merriweather. Merriweather just 1/3 of an inning. No hits, no runs. He had 1 strikeout. Came in and shut down the St. Louis rally in the 8th. Alzolay is going to face off against Contreras, Donovan, and DeYoung. He is a -3 against lefties, -2 against righties. And let's see if he can keep the Cubs close. 7-5. Good tight one here for the second game in a row. This comes off Alzolay's card. A 437 will be a fly ball to left field. And the left fielder is Ian Happ. He'll squeeze it for out number 1. Good start for Alzolay in the top of the 9th inning. We're in Chicago. This rivalry is heating up. Brendan Donovan, the lefty. Donovan is 1 for 3. He had a 2-run home run. Oh, sorry, 1 for 4. He had a 2-run home run back in the 3rd inning. Against righties, he's a -2. So these two are actually, it's a -1 to the batter. So 1-9 for control. A 600 for Alzolay is going to be a strikeout. Alzolay, not a heavy strikeout pitcher. Only about 27% K percentage overall. So not like a Edwin Diaz type closer. Decent enough and good enough. Paul DeJong stands in. DeJong is 1 for 2. He's got a walk, a hit by pitch, a home run, a strikeout. He's kind of done everything in this one. And he will have a 1 to 7 chance for control. So this comes off of Adbert. I always want to say Albert. Adbert Alzolay hits a 699. 699 against a right-hander is going to be a strikeout, and Alzolay takes care of business. Back-to-back strikeouts, ends the inning. That's a 1-2-3 inning for him. And not only does he stay here, but he goes back to a 4 because he ends the inning with a K, and he ends a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. So that's -1 for the batter, +2. 1 for the strikeout, 1 for the 1-2-3 inning, and he comes in and takes care of business in the 9th. He keeps it close. 7-5 is our score. Coming out the next inning is going to be Helsley for the Cardinals. So let's get him into the game. All right, bottom of the 9th inning. The Cubs are down 7-5, and they are going to. The Cardinals are going to bring in Ryan Helsley, the right-hander. He was their sort of official closer. He follows up Chris Stratton, who pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, and that was the ground ball fielder's choice, which drove in the 5th run of the game for the Cubs. He did have 1 walk and no strikeouts, and he kept them within winning distance, we'll say. We're going to get a pinch hitter here for Miguel Amaya, the catcher for the Cubs. Amaya 0 for 2. He did have a walk, and we're going to bring in Nico Hoerner. Hoerner is a +3 against righties. That gives him a slight advantage against Ryan Helsley. Feels like that's the right play to make here. So he would be essentially like a leadoff man for this team, and maybe put 2 leadoff guys together with Ian Madrigal. He actually gets the control, 1 to 11. He has control, so this is off his card. 149. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be a ground ball. That goes to the third baseman, and the third baseman is going to be there to make the play. That, of course, Nolan Arenado, best third baseman in the National League. So 1 down as Hoerner grounds out to third. Brings up Nicky Madrigal. Madrigal is playing third base in this game. He's got 1 hit and 4 at-bats. He's going to be a 1 to 9 for control. So this comes off his card. 619. Oh, that's going to be a strikeout. He doesn't have many strikeouts at all. His strikeout rate against righties is only 7%. And, oh, that's a tough one. As Madrigal strikes out against Helsley. And that's out number 2. Helsley now 1 out away from locking down this 7-5 win for the Cardinals. Brings up Dansby Swanson. Swanson with a home run in this one. He's 1 for 3. This will come off of Helsley's card. A 144 is a grounder. That one is hit out to shortstop. The shortstop is DeJong. He's going to make the play on a 388. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. So 1-2-3 inning for Helsley for the save. And that locks down this 7-5 win for the Cardinals, who take game 2 in this set. And we will come back with the totals after this. All right, back with the totals in this one. It is St. Louis 7-5, a win over the hometown Cubs. The Cubs were not playing great at this point, but neither was St. Louis, really. It's kind of not a great game here early in the season. St. Louis, 7 runs on 12 hits. They did have 1 error. Chicago, 5 runs on 8 hits and no errors in the game. We had back-to-back home runs here from Donovan and Paul DeJong. Lots of doubles all throughout this inning. Gorman, Arenado, Kisner 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and a single. For the Cubbies, it's a home run from Dansby Swanson. That was a solo shot, a 2-run job by Ian Happ, and that accounted for 3 of their 5 runs. RBI single from Eric Hosmer as well, and Hosmer actually with 2 RBIs. He grounded out and drove in a run in the 8th inning. So that is 2-0 lead for St. Louis in this one. I can't remember. I know they won game 2. I can't remember if they won game 1 or not. Game 1 was quite a bit closer than what we had on the tabletop, but this one almost exactly the same. The final score, I want to say it was 6-4, a Cardinal win, but I think it was 6-4. We have a 7-5 game here, and this is pretty good. So Alzolay comes in and shuts the door, but the save ultimately goes to Helsley. Stratton with a hold, and Flaherty 6 1/3 innings for the win. Gave up only four runs, had 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. Jameson Taillon just 3 2/3, gives up 10 hits and 7 runs. And the bullpen, give them credit for Chicago, shut down St. Louis from the 5th inning on, and give them a shot to win. They tried to creep back into it, just couldn't get enough big hits along the way. And this is precision baseball. If you want to play this game, you can. I'm looking for people to test and play 10 to 20 games or so, and just kind of let me know how it's going, what kinds of things can be added or changed, or the game is not in production yet, so we're still in the testing phase, trying to make sure that things get ironed out. I think I've fixed the error problems, so we're getting a little bit more realistic errors now, and that's probably going to help the scoring. Some of the scoring seems a little bit elevated, but it feels right for modern day baseball. This is 2023 this season, and depending on how aggressive you are on the base paths, and moving players around the base paths, you can score some runs, or you can be shut down as well. If you want to play, you can email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com, or you can, if you're on Facebook, you can join the Facebook group, and the files are right there in the files section. So go to Facebook, go to the group section, search for Clark and Addison Gaming Company, and look in the, you'll have to answer a few questions to get into the group, but happy to let you in as long as you answer the questions and agree to the group rules. It's a private group, so you'll have to get your way in, but I'm not super picky as long as you answer the questions. If you get into the group, then you can go to the files section. The files section has the latest test version. I'm working on the game guide, and I think once that's pretty close, actually. So I put in the stamina yesterday, and I think I've got most everything in there that I want to do for right now, unless something comes up that I need to add in. So once I get that, and maybe I can just publish that this morning. Once I get that, then the version, it'll be version 2, I guess, like 0.2 of the kind of the beta test version. So that'll be live, and you can get all of the new files, including the new error chart, the new chart here with the ground balls, the reworked infield in chart. These charts for the ground balls they're not new. It's just I put the infield in chart on there as well. And then we'll have the strategy plays with the bunting. So you'll have plays for bunt hits, sacrifice bunts, squeeze bunts, and if you want to do any hit and run, that is also on there. And also included are going to be all of the highlight plays. So we haven't gotten any highlight plays. We almost have, but not quite. So these are just fun plays. Some of them are rare, some of them are just uncommon, and others are so rare they probably only happen once in the history of baseball. So you get an assortment there. So those highlight plays will be worked in. It's on this roll here. So when you determine which card to roll off of for the initial roll, the initial 3d10 roll. If you, let's say it's a ground ball, but you roll a 1-11, then you would enter into those highlight plays, roll the 3d10 again, and then check the ground ball chart. So you can see here, the first one is ground balls, and basically you just roll the 1 to 1,000. There's lots of ground ball opportunities here, and then you just check the range over here. So 291 to 300 is going to be this this play, ground ball to the first base bag. If there's a runner on first, then the first baseman steps on the bag and throws to second. Where the tag is applied for the double play, all other runners are going to advance. If there's no runner on first base, then he steps on first and all runners advance. So there's just, it's not a totally uncommon play, but it's just not something that happens every single time. Typically, you're going to make the throw to first and then back to second for the double play, which is where, these are going to be your more typical outs that are made on the base paths. So you get all of this stuff. You'll get 8 teams that you can play. So starting from A to Z, you'll get Arizona down through Cleveland. So if you want to look and see who those teams are, you can see it's Arizona, Atlanta, Boston, Baltimore, Chicago, Cleveland, and I feel like I'm missing one, but it's 8 teams, so all the way down to the Guardians. And some of those teams just missed the playoffs. Some of the teams are bad, like the White Sox, and the Red Sox were not really in it. And some teams were great. Arizona, Atlanta, they were both in the playoffs. And Baltimore was in the playoffs. They won their division. So you're going to get a mixture of teams, and you're going to get a mixture of styles of play, stars, different things that are going to happen in the game. And you'll get all of those cards. So every batter who got at least 20 plate appearances, every pitcher who faced at least 20 batters, you're going to get a card for every one of those players. You can see, I'm only using a handful of the actual, these are the only relievers that I'm using, so the ones that are in the game, and then these are your main relievers. But these guys, they all got in for a cup of coffee, and that's your relievers and the rest of your starters. So, you're probably going to get 9 cards to a page. You probably get somewhere between 40 to 50 players per team. You're not going to get every single guy, but you're going to get almost every single player. So it gets pretty close to everybody. It weeds out just a handful of people on each team. That's going to get all of your position players who got in to throw an inning or 2 innings during the season. Is going to get them out of there, and then it's going to get out, your guy who came in for 1 game, threw a third of an inning, didn't get anybody out after that, and then went back down to the minors for the rest of the year. So he's not a significant factor in the season. And in fact, some of these guys that are included were probably not really significant factors in the season. So, but you do get them, and you can play them as played if you want to. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comment section. I love the interaction. If you have questioning the way I do this, or some of the ways, some of the things I'm doing in the game, then please feel free to let me know. I've heard all the criticism before. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. And I'm really just trying to make the best game possible. I'm not trying to recreate some other game, so don't tell me necessarily like this is how it's done in some other game, unless you think that that's going to be a good addition, and not if I've already got a mechanic for that works. I'm not going to bring in Atpo or Strat or whatever they do, because I've already decided this is, the mechanic that we're going to use. Now you can make it smoother, better, that type of thing. But if there's something that I'm not using that another game uses, I'm happy to take a look at that. And sometimes guys send me things. They're like, hey, this is like old Status Pro stuff. There's a lot of Status Pro feel to this game, and I didn't rip off Status Pro or anything like that, but there is a sort of a look and feel of some of the parts of Status Pro with the batter pitcher interaction, that type of thing. But I think it takes everything a one step farther than Status Pro in some ways. So this is not meant to be a clone. This is meant to be a one-off game. It's not a clone of APA or Strat or Payoff Pitch or Inside Pitch or any of those games, Season Ticket. But I think that it does, because I watch videos and I pay attention to what's happening, it probably does incorporate a lot of those really good ideas from those games. So you're going to find that as well in this one. And what I'm trying to do is make the simulation of baseball as precise as I possibly can. So I'm using the 3D10 dice. That's a 1 to 1,000 roll. So it's a, whatever that is, a 0.1%, is a 0.1% chance on every roll for something to happen. So it's, you can get some pretty fine-grained results, especially when you start layering those results, like getting to the highlight plays. I've played, 3 or 4 games now, and I have not gotten to a highlight play yet. So you may like that, you may not like that. You might want to incorporate something different, like some other type of chart or something like that, that if you hit on a particular result, then you roll against it to see if there's a highlight play. But those plays happen more often in real baseball than they're happening on the tabletop. You can read through those and kind of get your own commentary, because some of that commentary you can just use for yourself while you're doing the regular old, fly out to left. Because maybe that liner to left is really a guy diving to his right, and you can incorporate some of that into your own games as well. So there's a lot of commentary that could be added that's not a super special or super rare play. So take that for what it's worth. Make the game what you want to make it. That's always been my mantra. But there's a lot of pieces to this game that you can just kind of follow along, and it gives you quite a bit. There's a lot of managerial decisions to make, especially on base running and fielding, especially base running. There's a lot of things to decide. I like that there's a lot of information on these cards, and if you really pay attention to how a manager thinks, you'll see that all the information that you're going to need to make good decisions is on the cards themselves, especially when it comes to lefty righty. So if you want a game that's heavy on splits, this game is super heavy on splits, and those splits mean something. So you're going to get their splits as far as a K percentage or walk percentage. Do you need to avoid a walk? Then you need to look for a guy who, against the batters coming up, is not going to walk very many people. And you have that on the card. It shows you. You can discern it here by just looking and kind of looking at the ranges and finding the percentages, because it's a percentage out of 1,000, which basically you lop off the end number. And so a 549 to a 793 is really 54 to 79%. And so you just kind of do that math real quickly in your head, and you can do a little quick subtraction there and find out what is that. That's a 25% K percentage against righties. It's also given to you down here, so you don't have to do the math, but you can figure some of those things out up here just from the ranges. So I give it to you in ways that I hope is digestible and easy for you to get, and easy for you to incorporate into the game as well and make your managerial decisions. You can see there were things that I did in this game that were based off of, okay, who's coming up in the order. I have this guy, and when it says he's a -3 against lefties, but he's a +2 against righties, that means he's actually going to be at a disadvantage against right-handers. It's not, the splits in this game are directly related to their performance. It's not a guess. It's not a, the engine itself is built around the splits. So it's not a guesstimate about whether he's good or bad, or, really good or really bad against a particular handedness. He is going to have, if he's a -3 pitcher, he's going to have a pretty good advantage, even against a really good hitter. Against a bad hitter, he's going to have probably a 30% advantage. And so you can do the math on that too to see what the advantage is. A -6 pitcher against a minus or a +6 batter. That batter only has about a 20% chance of controlling the at bat. And then, those percentages fluctuate by about 5%, depending on how far away you are from one another. So at 5% increments, you can see, okay, this pitcher has about a 65% advantage over the batter. And so it's basically, what is the advantage? So if a pitcher has a -3 advantage against the batter, and the batter is only a 1-7, then you can take that 7 and multiply it by 5. So he has about a 35% chance, or you can do the reverse, and you can say the pitcher has a 15% advantage. So it's like the -3 times a 5. That becomes a 15% advantage. So instead of 50, it's a 65% advantage. So however you need to look at it, or however it's easiest to look at it in your head, that pitcher still has a 65% chance of getting control of the at bat. And if he's a good pitcher and it comes off of his card, then he's going to roll against his own stats. So that's kind of how the game works and how it's laid out, and how you have to kind of think your way through the game. So I really love that. It's one of the best baseball games I've ever built. It's different than on-base baseball, and it's different than any of my quick play games. There's a lot more specificity. There's a lot more look and feel of a baseball game as it's being played. It takes a little bit of time to play, but I think in that slowness, you really feel like you're making some decisions that would be made either on the field or in the dugout. And I really love that. I love, the matchups, and you can put together your own lineups and really start to see, like, how can I match these guys up, thinking ahead. If they bring in these relievers, what guys am I going to use off the bench in these situations? If I need a hit, if I need to kind of turn the tables toward my hitter, who am I going to use if they bring in this guy? Or I'm going to bring in this hitter, and okay, I'm going to counter with this pitcher, just like you would normally do. You don't get a ton of that from what I've seen in a lot of simulations, and I think it's going to be a real strength of this one. All right, well, that's enough of a pitch for that. If you want to check out all my games, go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and look around there, see what's available for games that are in production. I have all the 3 major American sports, so baseball, football, and basketball. And there's lots of other games in production always. So we'll see if those ever make it to the light of day. This one is coming. Continue to test it and play it. Let me know your thoughts. You can send, again, an email to clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com and let me know your thoughts on the game as you play it. And we can incorporate lots of different things. Some things are still very much up in the air, and they're being solidified every day as I play it and get comfortable with the different processes, but not everything is set in stone yet. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, but you keep coming back, I don't know what the problem is, just click subscribe. You'll get notified whenever I have new content. And it'll also tell Google, hey, what this guy's doing is good, and people like it. We're up over 155. I think we're 155 in our subscribers as of today. It is May 18th, 2024. And if you really want to help out, but you don't want to purchase the games, or you don't necessarily like the games I'm doing, one easy way is to just click that thumbs up. It's so easy. You don't even have to subscribe. Just click that thumbs up. It's super, super simple. And what that does is it tells Google that someone likes this content. And if enough people like the content, they continue to give it to more people. And if those people continue to like the content, then they give it to more people. And that's the way that you get a little bit more exposure for what you're doing. So if you want more people to know, tell them. Number one, tell your community about this game or any of the games that I'm working on. And then you can also just click that thumbs up. It seems like a little dinky thing to do, but it is actually very helpful within the digital sphere of YouTube. As a web developer, I know a little bit more about how these things work and what the algorithms are looking for. We certainly don't know everything, but we do know that likes and subscribes will extend your reach of your channel. So if you like this video, if you like any of my videos, just go back through and click the little thumbs up for all of them. Anytime you see someone on YouTube that you like what they're doing, or you like the video content they're producing, just click the thumbs up and it will help them immensely. And if everybody does that in the community, it will help to grow how these games go out into the YouTube verse. And the more people that see this, the more will be interested, I promise you. So if we hear a lot about like, how can we grow this? Share it. Tell everybody about it. Don't just participate in it with yourself. Participate in it with others. Share content, like content. All of these big, huge platforms are just waiting to promote things that people like. So do that and it will help. I promise. Okay. That's it. Cubs lose this one 7-5, or Cardinals win this one 7-5, however you want to see it. And we'll do game 3 either tomorrow or the next day. I don't know when it'll come out. But game 3 will be coming to you. The Cubs are down 2-0 in this series, and they'll try to get back almost to above water. But St. Louis wins the series with this win, 7-5 over the Cubs. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.